The cheapest way to get a fast USB external drive is to build one from an NVMe drive. Let's check this one from Sabrent out today. Hi, this is David of Tech for Baba, a channel I share my experiences on how technology enhances my time with kids and family as a dad. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider subscribing. In today's video, I'll share how this USB enclosure can easily turn an M.2 NVMe or M.2 SATA drive into a fast external USB drive with similar or even faster transfer speed than the Samsung T7 or SanDisk Extreme V2, all without any tools. Inside the box, the Sabrent enclosure comes with an enclosure, of course, and just one cable, a USB Type-C to an USB Type-C cable, and this little spare plastic piece to hold the drive in place. Let's take a closer look at the enclosure. It's very nicely constructed with a dark gray aluminum outer shell on three sides. The bottom and the two short ends are in the same gray color, but they're made of plastic. Overall, it's very sleek and small at about 5.6 inches long, 1¼ inches wide, and just about ½ inch thick. Compared to this cheaper case I've reviewed before, they're about the same size. The Sabrent is just a little bit longer. It's heavier though at 4.3 ounces because more metal is used. The much bigger metal surface should help this enclosure dissipate heat better. Here it is next to the Samsung T7. Much narrower but longer, and just a little thicker. The USB-C port for this enclosure is on one end. There's also an indicator light right next to it. On the other side, there's a button to open up the enclosure. I love how I don't need any tools to put this drive together. With the enclosure open, we can see the chunky aluminum metal cover here on the left side. It's hinged on one side. There's already a thermal pad attached to its underside. The PCB where to attach the drive to is on the other side of the case. It's held down by these 4 small screws, which we don't need to touch. I only took out the PCB just to confirm the enclosure is indeed using the newer Realtek RTL9210 controller chip. And it is. By the way, there are 4 common controllers used in these enclosures: J-Micron JMS562, JMS583, AS Media ASM2362, and Realtek RTL9210. J-Micron and AS Media controllers are more common, but the Realtek controller, the one in this enclosure, is the newer chip. It runs cooler and has been more reliable for me. So try to get an enclosure like this one with the Realtek RTL9210 controller if you can. Okay, let's get the NVMe drive installed and check out what speed we can get with this enclosure on my M1 MacBook Air. Installation is very quick and easy. Again, no tool required. Here is a 1TB NVMe drive from my old Windows laptop. This enclosure is compatible with both SATA and NVMe drives in M.2 2242, 2260, and 2280 form factor. Just insert the drive into the socket on the PCB at an angle. Push the other end down lightly and slide this little plastic piece forward to hold it in place. Close the lid, and that's it. This Sabrent enclosure has a USB 3.2 port which supports transfer speed up to 10 gigabits per second, similar to the Samsung T7 or the SanDisk Extreme V2. Let's see what speed we can actually get with this drive. Here I have it connected directly to my M1 MacBook Air. With Blackmagic speed test, I get about 837 megabytes per second write and 809 megabytes per second read, which is the same speed I got with this other cheaper enclosure. Not surprising since both enclosures use the same controller chip. I'll put a link to my review of the other enclosure here and in the description if you'd like to check it out. In any case, both enclosures are much faster than what I got with my Samsung T7, which was only about 651 megabytes per second write and 656 megabytes per second read. These enclosures are about 30% faster. By the way, even though the USB ports on the M1 Macs are spec'd up to 10 gigabits per second, they're slower than those on the Intel Macs and PCs for some reason. The workaround is to connect the drive through a Thunderbolt hub with 10 gigabits per second USB ports, like the ones I've reviewed before. I'll put links to those videos here and in the descriptions. Going through the hub, I can get about 10% increase in transfer speed from the drive at around 897 megabytes per second write and 945 megabytes per second read, which again is quite a bit faster than the Samsung T7. I like how this Sabrent enclosure is mostly metal. The enclosure does warm up like others when I transfer a large 64GB file back and forth a few times. The drive didn't throttle much though, and the heat dissipates quicker than the cheaper enclosure as expected, so it doesn't get as warm to the touch. For just $27 US, I think this is one of the best USB enclosure on the market. Most of the NVMe drives today are more than fast enough to support the 1000 megabytes per second transfer speed. A good 1TB NVMe drive can be found for about $100 to $110. I'll put links to a couple in the description below. The drive and the enclosure together would cost just $137. It's cheaper than the Samsung T7 and it's much faster. Even though the T7 is constructed better, building my own drive with this enclosure means I can easily upgrade to a larger drive later down the road. And again, it's faster and cheaper than brand name external SSDs like the Samsung T7, SanDisk Extreme V2, and even Sabrent's own Rocket Nano. I'll put links to my reviews of the Samsung T7 and Sabrent Rocket Nano here and down in the descriptions. The only downside for me is these enclosures may not be as rugged. But if these drives are to be used mostly indoors, these USB enclosures are great options. They're cheaper and faster. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, please help me by smashing that like button and share. Let me know in the comments below what external drives you've been using and which ones you like. If you want to see more videos on how technology enhances our life with kids and family, please subscribe and turn on the bell to be notified when I put out my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, cherish each moment.